Yup, that's balanced. So in what I believe is a first, Ninja Kiwi already released a patch note for Corvus with bug fixes and nerfs and buffs. And this is all within 48 hours, by the way. I guess 48 hours was already enough to tell that some of his spells were way too overtuned. Some of them were well too undertuned. So I'll just show you the patch note right here. They don't really tell you a whole lot. Very little detail. They just tell you whether the spell was buffed or nerfed. Usually they're more detailed on this, but I guess they want us to figure out the stats for ourselves while the hero is still fresh and all. So we're gonna go ahead and check out the new and improved Corvus in this Infernal Chimps game here. We'll see if we can save up more money than that Glacial Trail run, 55,000 left over the last time I played him. And it wasn't even close to the max potential yet. Is it new and improved actually? Well, if we take a look, the Malevolence, Overload, Haste spell, and Dark Ritual were improved, while in return, 4 other spells were nerfed. That is Repel and Frostbound, Ancestral Might, the Spear, and just the Spirit Speed in general reduced. I think some of these changes, even though they didn't tell us, we could figure out for ourselves. As you saw at the very start, Overload now actually pierces through layers. That was one of my complaints about Corvus originally, at least that spell. It felt pretty weak because it couldn't soak through, but now I realize why they didn't soak through in the first place, because that looked illegal. Because mind you, that was not even with Echo, which would double the damage. Actually, what's interesting about the patch note is that they tell us exactly what was nerfed with these spells, but not what was buffed. Oh, also, before the round ends, no, I didn't get Corvus in time. Missed out 1 level. Now, this Infernal is actually not really a great map for Corvus, because I did already test, if you put him on the left island, you can't see the top or the bottom. So that is why we're not getting any mana from Corvus, unfortunately. The Spear is still too strong early game that, like, Bloons will barely get in range here. Maybe only for the odd rounds. I'll just Nourishment, because I know the Spear's good early game. But yeah, the Pierce of Spear was reduced, as with Repel and Frostbound, which I believe were, I guess they didn't need to take long to decide that. Yes, that is pretty overpowered. I would go so far to say that, aside from Echo, those 3 were the best 3 spells that Corvus had. So, a good thing Ninja Kiwi is, like, trying to level out the playing field. And I could get $3 extra from popping this Camo Green Balloon, but fine, I'll just use a Soul Barrier. Why not? I'll figure out some Camo later on, but in case you're wondering, I guess, what my strategy is going to be for this Infernal Chimps run, I guess since we already have this Boomerang down, probably a Permacharge. Turns out the Boomerang is probably, like, the best start for Infernal. Like, you don't have to do any micro at all. Just leave it on first, buy the upgrades in the order that I bought them in, and voila. There you have it. And I guess to pair with Permacharge, I was thinking, why don't we just try a Permaspike? For no reason other than I feel like it would work really well with Overload, because it's basically a nuke. So it doesn't matter, again, if you leave a bunch of random cerams behind. As long as you delete a big chunk of the balloons. Corvus can take away a big chunk of the pop so that the Permaspike stays nice and healthy. Now, as for the spells I got a buff, I have no idea what exactly they did with Malevolence or Haste. I did some testing with Malevolence. It seems like it does the same as before. It's basically a reactor. That is why it's kind of useless late game. Because when you're dealing with Moabs, 3 damage is not going to do a whole lot. For the Camo around here, I'm just going to go ahead and get my Spectre ahead of time. I am committing to the strategy. Now, for it to reach, I need Alp buff and all that good stuff. So Smart Spikes, 300 at minimum. I need to make sure it hits both sides. Perfect. We'll put it back in Smart now so that it will always go up. As I was saying, though, whatever they did with the Haste buff, I don't care. I'm still not going to use it. Just because it doesn't give me extra damage. Or Pierce or any of those stats, then that's a no for me, sir. I'm not saying it's completely useless, but it's incredibly niche. Like, the scenario where you'll ever need, like, the increased attack speed. Probably a map with, I guess, multiple lanes spawning at the same time. I can see that being a good use case. I think I'll try to go for a turbocharge for around 40. By all accounts, though, I believe that Corvus, as he currently stands, is well overtuned. But I understand that because of the skill required to maximize, you know, his potential. I also done goofed. I don't have the permacharge ability, but what if I just simply use Frostbound? And now we win. Easy. Like, I can tell you that I'm far from reaching the skill ceiling of Corvus. If the skill ceiling was Corvus was, say, the ceiling of a baseball dome, then I'm currently at standing height level. Probably a little bit of a hyperbole there, but you know what I mean. You think we could save straight for permacharge, by the way, at some point? I'd like to see with Corvus. The thing is, unlike Geraldo, I mean, it kind of goes without saying here, but the thing with his spells is that it only uses up his own resource, not actual cash, like Geraldo does. And well, thus you can save up a whole lot more. I don't think this 102 plus Alk is going to be enough to save 37k though, but I accidentally used my permacharge or turbocharge last round, so that's a big yikes. I'll do Storm and Spear for 49. Looks like that deals with the wave nicely. Yep, if we manage our resources right, then affording permacharge should be, like, no problemo. I'll go ahead and use the turbocharge ability for the Bulb on 50. Then we won't have it for this part here, but I think we're fine. Storm and maybe Ember, or nah? Nope. Storm is better mid-game than Spear, I believe. We'll go ahead and do Vision. I think I should probably just invest in some permanent camo for my Boomerang. That would probably be a Mortar, just because I don't want to place any towers here, just in case I want to Dark Shift Corvus. So I want to leave that space a little bit vacant. Yep, I already went ahead and did it. 003 Mortar just for this round. We'll Soul Harvest for that epic mana there. And I think if I don't spend anything else, I can afford to get permacharge by 63. And boy, wouldn't that be wonderful. Then we can truly level Corvus like crazy. Let's use another turbocharge here. Still gonna have to carefully time that ability. I also think I can certainly already feel the Pierce nerf coming with the Spear. Usually it should wipe out a giant clump, but not anymore, I don't think. Not anymore, not anymore. Find you another hero that can save you this much money on Infernal with these towers. Like, these towers are not even regarded as solid mid-game towers. Okay, maybe the 024 is decent, but the Pierce is really lacking. We are going to avoid this thing in time, aren't we? We'll just turbocharge for around 60, and then we avoid the 61, if I don't mess up here. So we'll just use everything this round. Ember, maybe I should use Echo too. Echo, you think? Let's use level 10. That's a giant burst of mana. Oh my god, I almost died. Yep, that calls for Echo. Okay, not this round, but in the middle of this round. Come on, there it is. That was not that bad. I obviously don't show every time I die or have to restart a round, but that took very few restarts for rounds in general. Okay, unfortunately, permacharge still gets some Pierce capped. Alright, Malevolence, you got this, you got this, you got this. Nah, I still have to use level 10 there. You're 2 damage per second. That kind of barely helped. Yet that is round that is, like, perfect. Or rather, should be perfect for Malevolence. As I mentioned, this is now the perfect time to power level Corvus with his Nourishment. See how much levels you can get on an extra map. I think someone did the stats already on Reddit, but you need, well, in a nutshell, a lot of Nourishments to even reach level 20. Wait a minute, I didn't even notice the whole time that we already have the money for Permaspike. Well, let's get it. I think that's game, genuinely. I guess just to be extra safe, we'll do Jungle Drums and Tier 4 Alk. But I think that, like, I can save up the rest of the money to win. Like, not even using the Permaspike here to the best of our ability. Usually you'd want to stall the round up to max with either a May Moab, something along the lines of that, but nope, we are just foregoing all those. I haven't even used the Dark Shift ability for Corvus yet. I also still don't know exactly what the Dark Ritual buff is. Maybe it generates mana faster, maybe it does more damage. Remains to be seen, but you're usually not using that ability for damage anyways. I've used Corvus enough times at this point, I think, to realize it's pretty good at generating mana, at least for the duration that it's up at. You can pretty much cast every spell that you want, if there's enough Bloons in range, because they'll, like, fill up immediately from my experience. I also forgot to buy the Turtle ZMG from shop, so here's what it looks like in case you guys are curious. Low-key, I feel kind of bad popping them, but it's what we gotta do. That's how the Bloons get us, you know, they trick us into making them look nice and cute and innocent, so that we don't want to pop them. But we can't fall for their tricks, guys. All I can say, it's a race against time right now to see if we can get level 20 in time. 10 rounds to go. I think if I actually did buy May Moab, stalling out the round does help Corvus too in leveling up because, you know, the Nourishment ability is capped. 1 minute cooldown. I could probably activate multiple of those in a round if I was able to stall a lot longer, but that's okay. We'll just let Permaspike again tank all this. No big deal. Okay, this amount of ZMGs here might actually overwhelm us, so we will finally use Permacharge now. Nourishment 2, use this to max it out instantly. And 9-2 is done. Okay, I think it's about time now we use Corvus to alleviate some pressure. Shall we use that overload? 520, sure. So, on strong. Ooh, without level 20, it doesn't actually do as much as I expected. But I didn't echo, so that's probably what I would change if we actually end up dying here. What would I do? Repel for this round? Spear 2. Back one first. Alright, Permaspike, you the MVP, you got this. Nice. You know, I should probably stop using Nourishment because these rounds are getting tough. But that's okay. Permacharge has got us, or should we use... No, I'll still drop a Spear. I still like the damage it's doing, despite the Pierce nerf. What else would we do? Ember? Just in case the Spike Ball gets a little low. But we were good. It did look a little... It definitely did look like it was dropping down. Okay, here's another Nourishment. Last one, I swear. Permacharge again for the F-Mobs here. At this point, we've already surpassed the amount of money we saved on the Glacier Trail. And if I don't spend any more, we'll end up with like what, 75k? I like the sound of that. We'll use an Echo and a Spear this round. I am still low-key kind of scared without any stalling done whatsoever. Permacharge ain't really a good combo with Permaspike because the 052 lacks Pierce, which is usually what's most important, but that's okay. That's okay. Okay, what do I do for this last part here? Probably Ember again. Probably Trample. Yeah, I'm trampling. Nope, not good enough. I know we're still not at level 20 yet, but I think it's time to try just nuking down the ZMGs with the Echo and Overload. So we'll use Permacharge. We actually should do as much damage as possible because of the layer skipping. So I'll Echo now. Yep, it's time. Do a Harvest. Come on, Harvest. Gimme. And then Overload. Easy, just nuked out 96. Now we just have to stall. I think it will last, the cooldown is short enough for it to get it up by 98. There's a Nourishment for level 19. I'm so close, guys, I'm so close. I would love it for around 100, although it might not be necessary. I don't know what to do for this round. I'm just gonna hope Permaspike tanks all the FBFEs. Thank you. So this is without a doubt an Echo plus, what do you call it, Overload. I should use Recovery. I keep on not using that for whatever reason. But now we have the ability up, so, okay. Are we ready? Yes. So Echo, do this, and there we go. Oh, I didn't quite layer skip the ZMG. That could be a problem. That could be bad. What do I do here? How about a Spear? Maybe Ember? Yeah, I like Ember. I think that looks like enough spikes, though. We deleted enough ZMGs. It's getting a little low, but that can handle. Nice, 75,000. Right back up there. How do I beat... Oh, I don't have the Permacharge ability. Ooh. It's almost enough. I mean, do you think we just trample? I'll just trample. That might delete enough Bloons. Harvest 2. Permacharge up again. But then I don't have the Permacharge now for around 100. Oops. Oh man, we're $6,000 off. Unlucky. Okay, I did recover also. So I have the Echo plus Overload up again. Do I use it now to burst down the bad damage? Sure. Echo. Harvest. Boom. Yeah, it's pretty weak without that level 20. But guys, this is for science and for the flex. That Dark Shift cooldown is way too fast, by the way. We'll do this. We'll repel. And I think that means we should probably Echo and Overload the ZMG. Actually, hold up. Well, the layer skip doesn't matter for the bad layer. Why don't we just Echo and Ancestral Might? And then, if we get the cooldown for the Overload, then we do that. But I don't think we get that. Yeah, we don't have the mana either. That's fine. I'm hoping the Ancestral Might did more than the Overload did that time. And then we will use ability now. We'll Harvest. Overload. And it's done. Easy. Easy, guys. In total, we only placed down 6 towers to be infernal. And we did it without spending any more money after round 81. Let that sink in. Well, time for them to put out a 40.2 patch to fix Corvus again. Until then, abuse him if you can. If you're down for the challenge of microing him,